about it, yes, it is pretty strange, you think about it, but there was a lot of visiting blues artists, and there was only 1.5 TV channels.
Mick Jagger is an English singer, songwriter, actor, and film producer who's achieved international fame as the lead vocalist and one of the founding members of the Rolling Stones. His ongoing songwriting partnership with Keith Richards is one of the most successful in history. Jagger's career has spanned over 6 decades, and he's been widely described as one of the most popular and influential frontmen in the history of rock and roll. In 1989, Jagger was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and into the UK Music Hall of Fame with the Rolling Stones in 2004.
That was your introduction, so you saw like film clips of old blues artists like Lead Belly, who was still alive.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Sir Michael Philip Jagger, but is also known as Mick Jagger. He was born July 26, 1943 in Dartford, Kent, England, making him 79 at the time of this production. He stands at 1.78 meters or 5 feet 10 inches tall. An avid cricket fan, Jagger founded Jagged Internet Works to cover the sport. He keenly follows the England national football team and has regularly attended FIFA World Cup games. Clifton Chenier's I'm a Hog for You, Salif Keats Mbemba, T. Visvanathan and T. Ragnanathan Sadahamanu, Dununia by Farafina, and Fela Kuti and Ginger Baker's Let's Start are his favorite songs of all time. Mick's favorite color is pink. He's a big fan of the Beach Boys. He stated on a British television talk show in 1964 that the Beach Boys' I Get Around was one of the greatest songs he'd ever heard. His favorite film is Martin Scorsese's Kundun. In 2003, he was knighted for his services to popular music. The genus Jagermerix naida and the type species Agrocatellus jaggeri are named for him. Jagger's credited with bringing a style and sexiness to rock and roll, and with being a trailblazer in pop music that subsequent generations of musicians have followed. Jagger's father, Basil Joe Jagger, died of pneumonia on November 11, 2006 at age 93. Jagger called his father the greatest influence in his life. Jagger's a supporter of music in schools, a patron of the Mick Jagger Center in Dartford, and sponsors music through his Red Rooster program in its local schools. The Red Rooster name is taken from the title of one of the Rolling Stones' earliest singles. The Telegraph has called Mick Jagger the Rolling Stone who changed music. CNN has called Jagger's greatest talent, besides strutting and singing, his ability to surround himself and the rest of the band with a group of very able executives. With Keith Richards, Jagger paid for the funeral arrangements of blues musician Hubert Sumlin in recognition of the musical influence he'd been on the band. Jagger was childhood friends with Keith Richards as the pair attended Wentworth Primary School together. He has 8 children with 5 women and 5 grandchildren, and welcomed his first great-grandchild on May 19, 2014. From 1966 to 1970, Jagger dated English singer and actress Marianne Faithfull and pursued a relationship with Marcia Hunt from 1969 to 1970, despite the fact that Hunt was married. He then met Bianca Perez Mora Macias in 1970, and the pair married on May 12, 1971 in Saint-Tropez, France. The couple separated in 1977, with Perez Mora Macias filing for divorce in May 1978, citing his adultery. From 1974 to 1976, Jagger had an affair with Playboy model Bibi Buell. Jagger then began a relationship with model Jerry Hall in 1977, and the couple had an unofficial marriage ceremony in Bali, Indonesia on November 21, 1990. From 2001 to her suicide in 2014, Jagger was in a relationship with fashion designer Loren Scott. Since Scott died in 2014, Jagger's been in a relationship with American ballet dancer Melanie Hamrick. Jagger was 73 when Hamrick gave birth to their son, Devereaux Octavian Basil Jagger, in 2016.
Relax, because doing new songs is always a bit challenging because you don't quite know how they're going to go. You can do them in any way. So let's just relax when we play this blues.
He was born to Basil Fanshawe Jagger and Eva Ensley Mary. He has a younger brother, Chris, who's also a musician. After leaving school in 1961, Jagger moved in with Richards and guitarist Brian Jones. While Richards and Jones made plans to start their own rhythm and blues group, Jagger attended classes at the London School of Economics, where he studied business on a government grant. Eventually, Jagger left the London School of Economics and joined Richards and Jones in their practices. And together, they set the foundations for what would become the band The Rolling Stones. Together with Richards, Jagger is responsible for writing some of the band's biggest hits. Jagger and the Rolling Stones got their first real job in 1962, and by 1963 they hit their stride and took off as a reputable band in the music industry. The Rolling Stones were in the vanguard of the British invasion in the 1960s, as the band identified with the youthful and rebellious counterculture of the time. The Rolling Stones were instrumental in making blues a major part of rock and roll. They've continued to transcend generations. The Rolling Stones have released over 100 albums over their long career, including 30 studio albums, and performed more than 2,000 concerts globally. While continuing to tour and record with the Rolling Stones, Jagger set out on his own solo career in the 1980s. His first solo album, She's the Boss, was released on February 19, 1985. In May 2011, Jagger announced he'd formed a new supergroup with Dave Stewart, Joss Stone, Damian Marley, and A.R. Rahman named Super Heavy. Jagger's most significant film roles were in Performance and Ned Kelly.
An experience, for me. So it's all about getting my mix right in my headphones, and I'm sitting there with my little mix down, and I want this louder, and I can just do it.
He's earned money through album sales, tours, and brand endorsement deals. The Stones generated more than $1.5 billion in total gross revenue between 1989 and 2001. The Stones have sold more than 200 million records worldwide. The band still tours consistently to this day, nearly every year. When the band does tour, it can be one of the highest-grossing musical acts in the world. For example, in 2018, the band earned $117 million off just 14 shows. He founded Jagged Films with Victoria Pearman in 1995, and the company's first release was the World War II drama Enigma in 2001. Also in 2001, Jagged Films produced a documentary, Being Mick, about Jagger. He has a net worth of $500 million. He owns several multi-million-dollar mansions in New York and London for both his own use and his family members. A particularly notable example in his portfolio is a 6-room beachfront compound on the private island of Mustique, which he actually rents out for a cool $30,000 per week if you're interested. He owns a second home on Mustique within a gated country club, which he also rents. Mick also owns a castle in the south of France. He also has a house in Florida. Jagger purchased the 4-bedroom, 6-bathroom property in 2020 amid talks of a comeback tour after having spent a year recovering from heart surgery. The home, located in the private guard-gated community of Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, spans more than 5,700 square feet. Interior architecture details include a dramatic coffered ceiling that stretches across the gathering room, a breakfast room, and a gourmand's kitchen with high-end appliances. He owns the following vehicles: a Mercedes S550, a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 3, an Aston Martin DB6. A Mustang Shelby.